Hi, I'm Jenny, here to guide you through a short meditation on how to deal with uncomfortable feelings. Before we begin, I want to thank you for being here, and I want to read a sentence from Thich Nhat Hanh as a Zen Buddhist and teacher and writer, and it's from his book How to Love, and he gives the definition of meditation. Meditation consists of generating three kinds of energy: mindfulness, concentration, and insight. Today, when we're looking at emotions or feelings that are uncomfortable, we're definitely looking for insight. We're going to be exploring the darker parts of ourselves, and it's not always easy, but it's definitely necessary. I would like to share with you a story of what happens when you ignore those darker emotions, but I'll save that for after the meditation, so if you're interested, please stick around. For this meditation, you need nothing but to listen. So once we get started, you'll just rest and close your eyes. I suggest sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground, or sitting in an easy pose or sukhasana, or laying down. If you are into crystals and crystal healing, obsidian would be a great stone to have with you, but it's not necessary. And while we meditate, I suggest having your hands up so that you can receive. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope you are in a comfortable position for your body. If not, please pause the video and get into one before we begin. And I'm going to ask you to start with taking a deep breath and really trying to fill your belly like a balloon with air, and slowly letting it out either your nose or your mouth, whatever's comfortable for you, and then gently closing your eyes. I'm going to ask you to have your hands up, if possible, facing the sky or the ceiling so that you can receive. Take another deep breath. Let your body start to relax. And the first thing we're going to do is ask ourselves, what is it that we're feeling? So we could be feeling multiple things at once. Our emotions are strong and sometimes layered and complicated. So I want you to just take a moment, take a couple deep breaths, and just repeat that question in your mind. What is it that I'm feeling? And see what comes up. It could be a feeling, it could be thoughts, it could be pictures. So let's ask that question. What is it that I am feeling? And I want you to know that whatever it is you are feeling is not wrong. Try to observe what it is you're feeling without judgment. Now, if you're feeling a few emotions at once, I want you to try to figure out, which ones are the uncomfortable ones for you. And if they all had one connecting emotion, what would it be? So if you're feeling worried and stressed and frustrated, those could all be connected to, feelings of anxiety or feelings of fear. If you're feeling frustrated and antsy and tight in the body and angry, rage, those are obviously all associated with anger. So feelings are complex, they're complicated. But I want you to try to kind of figure out, what is it that I'm mainly feeling? What's the core emotion? And take your time to explore that. And remember not to judge it. If you consider yourself to be a happy person, but you're feeling a lot of sadness, that's just what you're feeling. So we're going to just notice and not judge. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and let you try to explore that. Decide, what is it that you're feeling? Remember to breathe while you're thinking this over. Deep breaths, slow breaths. It's okay if you're struggling with picking the one core emotion. It's okay if you're even struggling to understand what you're feeling. We're just trying to put some thought to it. Sometimes it's just a feeling and there's not even thoughts really associated with it. So you could even say, I feel tightness, or I feel too much energy. However you want to phrase it. Once you have it, I want you to either say aloud or whisper in your head with me. Okay, so you're gonna follow what I say and then fill in the blank. Right now, I am feeling, and just say it again. What are you feeling? I am feeling. Now, I want you to start to explore your body with your mind's eye. So if you could take your attention almost like a flashlight and shine it through your body, and I'm going to guide you. You're going to tell me where that feeling is popping up. Is it popping up in your chest? Is your chest tight? Is your stomach hurt? Is your back tight? We're going to explore where this is popping up. So let's first explore our head and our face. Is your jaw clenched? Are your teeth being ground? Are your eyes tight? Are your eyes crying? They've had a lot of tears come out. How about your throat? Does it feel like you're almost choking on your words? Are you choking back tears? Is there a tightness there? Your neck and your shoulders, we hold a lot of tension there and in the back of the neck. Headaches, migraines. Are you feeling any of that there? Or have you felt that in the past few days? Explore your chest. Is there a tightness? Is there a faster heartbeat? Or are you hunched over? Have you been hunched over where you're almost protecting your heart? What about your back, your spine, your lower back? Is there any tightness? Is there any pain? Check your pelvis. Are you clenching in your pelvis? Believe it or not, when we're stressed or anxious, we clench there. We've been clenching there. Is it tight? Is it sore? Are your legs aching? Your feet, your hands? Back to your stomach. Has your stomach been acidic or butterflies, or you've been eating more than you normally do or eating less than you normally do? Where in your body are you feeling these emotions? I'm going to be quiet for a little while and let you explore that. And there may be multiple places you're feeling. So really explore, where have you been holding these emotions? We're going to do the same thing where you're going to repeat with me, okay? So I'm going to start a sentence, you're going to repeat that, and then finish the sentence. I am holding these emotions in then say it again. Where are you holding these emotions? Okay, take a deep breath for me. Fill your belly up with air, let it out slowly. Now, if you can, I want you to place your hands where you've been feeling it. If you've been feeling it in a lot of spots, this may be difficult. So you might want to pick the top 2 that you've been feeling it the most. So if it's your chest, you'll lay one hand on your chest, maybe one hand on your tummy, maybe both hands on your head, over your eyes. Where have you been really feeling the most of this emotion? And place your hands there. And then take some deep breaths with your hands there. Feel the heat of your hands. Feel the placement of the hands, the weight of the hands. Really draw your mind's eye to those areas and take some deep breaths into those areas. So if it's your belly, you've been feeling things in your stomach, take some deep breaths into your stomach. Or if it's your head, imagine your air going up into your crown. Wherever you're feeling it, let's take some deep breaths. Now the next thing I'm going to ask you to do may seem a little silly or strange, but you're alone, nobody's watching you, it's privacy of your own time. What I want you to do is make your body and your face like the emotion you're feeling. So if you're feeling sadness, you'll make an exaggerated sad face, like a frown, and maybe hunch your body into itself, because when we're sad, we go into a ball. If it's anger, you'll make fists and make an angry face, okay? If it's anxiety, it'll probably be, maybe it'll shake, maybe you'll shake. Whatever feels good to your body right now, whatever you feel, let that emotion take over a little bit. Let it in, let it be exaggerated. Okay, so start feeling it. I feel, and say it. Okay, say it again. I feel. Let it go through your body. Let yourself feel this. If it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's stress, anxiety, let yourself really feel it. Let the heart race, let the belly tighten, whatever you're feeling it, and then exaggerate that. Make a face, make a frown, make squeeze, and then what I want you to do is squeeze all the muscles with it. So squeeze your fists, clench every muscle you can clench your face, make yourself into a ball if you need to. Really get into it. Clench, 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 clench. Take a deep breath, as deep as you can in that clench, and then let it out. Relax your face. Relax your hands to the side. Take a deep, slow breath. Fill your belly up with air. Let it go. One more time. Now I'm going to ask you this question, and you may not find the answer today. This may be something you have to repeat a few times to find the answer. So just give yourself grace and be patient with yourself. Why are you feeling this way? What is the root cause of this emotion? Take a deep breath. You don't have to know today. But what is causing this in your life? I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about that. And if you're just saying to me, I don't know, I've had it for so long, I don't know what's causing it, that's okay. Just let your mind wander, see what comes up. If an image comes up, if a word comes up, take a deep breath, just explore that. Why are you feeling this way? Remember to breathe. And I'm going to say a few things. I'm going to have you repeat after me, okay? And even if you don't like what I'm saying, you feel like it's not true, I want you to say it anyway. And if you can have the courage to say it aloud, it would be the best thing for you. Okay, so take a deep breath and repeat after me. I am brave. I deserve love. It is okay to feel this way. I am still a good person for feeling this way. I love myself. I am not lesser for feeling this way. Take another deep breath. And if you can, I'd like to imagine yourself as a child or as a baby animal, something cute, something lovable. Just imagine that for a moment. Imagine if you saw a little child or an animal that felt the way you did. How would you treat that child or that animal? What would you give to that child? What words of wisdom would you give? What gestures would you give to the animal? What would you do for somebody else that felt this way? Take a deep breath. Slowly open your eyes. You deserve love. And you deserve all the patience and kindness that you would shower on somebody else. I hope this exploration helps you in your journey. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the body and our feelings, stay tuned. I hope this meditation can serve you in a way to explore what's going on. This meditation came at a request from a couple people who asked me, who basically stated or pointed out that a lot of spirituality in the current society glosses over the hard feelings. people say vibrate higher and choose joy and all of that. But if you don't feel that way, if you're in fear or you're in anger or you're in sadness and you just decide to ignore that, it doesn't help you feel better, right? And so this meditation is to help you explore. So some things to do further is, if you couldn't figure out the root cause, is to do some journaling. Write down, I feel angry, and then list anything that makes you feel angry, even if it's like silly and embarrassing. Like, I feel angry when people don't, say excuse me when they bump into me. Whatever it is, whatever that's causing anger, just list that, and that'll be a way for you to start exploring and trying to find that answer. And another thing worth thinking about is where you store the emotion in the body is very insightful. So if you are storing a lot of it in your head, that's where your crown chakra is. So it's good for you to maybe explore that chakra, look into tuning that up. There's meditations and there's yoga and there's crystals and there's all kinds of things you can do for that area. If you're feeling the tightness in the chest or closed off in the chest, that's your heart chakra. If you're feeling the choking of the tears in the throat, right, that is our throat chakra. If your stomach is always hurting, there is a chakra there. But what's interesting, and I studied Native American literature, that anxiety and fear in the Native American culture is often shared through the tummy. So in stories, when a character has a recurring stomach ache, it's because that person is living in fear and not actually going and exploring that and figuring out what that fear is. So it makes sense to me, because having been someone who had anxiety for a long time, I felt it in my stomach all the time. And if you're having backaches, we store a lot of our stress in our back. I would, especially if you're feeling it in your lower back, I would look into the root chakra. The root chakra is, if we don't have a good root chakra, we don't feel grounded and rooted, everything gets messed up. And so that's something also worth exploring. Something else to think about is, many people talk about this. I'll give you Eckhart Tolle's example. Eckhart Tolle talks about how he was sitting on a bench and watching ducks, and two ducks come close together, a little too close for comfort, and they're kind of upset by this kind of interaction. And as they pass, both of them shake. They just shake, like almost shaking off the frustration, which exactly is what they're doing. And then they move on. And then they seemed fine after that. And so what happens in our bodies is, when we have an emotion that makes us want to fight or flight, anxiety, or we hear something terrible in the news, or something's happening out of our control, it's not socially acceptable for you to just take off down the street, or for you to start screaming, or for you to start shaking, or for you to let out a big sigh like, none of that is acceptable in our society. But that is what we need to do, because we are also animals and we hold trauma in the body. So if you're feeling emotions and you're not actually dealing with them, you're not able to talk about them or express them, they're going to get stored somewhere in the body. And that's where a lot of our recurring pain comes from. Recurring headaches come from just not dealing with whatever it is we're dealing with. And so the reason why I had you exaggerate the emotion, which you may have found silly in the meditation, like become the emotion, it seems like way new agey and woo-woo. But really what I was trying to get you to do was let some of that physicality of the emotion out. Like, let's get physical with the emotion. And so if that makes sense to you, one of the things you can do is, once you decide your root cause of why you're so upset, is acting it out alone, because you're going to look odd. You could, if you're feeling just an absolute sadness, lay on the floor face down in like a child's pose and just shake. Just shake your body. Just do what feels good. If you're feeling angry and you realize you have a lot of anger, go for a run, or punch the air, punch a pillow. Just really tap into that anger and let it out, because what's happening is we're not letting it out. We're just, even if you talk it over with someone, venting is proven really not to help you. Venting just makes you relive all the same feelings. It gets your body back into that trauma, and it's still not able to physically let it out because it's just talking. So physically letting it out is necessary. So that's another tip for you. And journaling, physically letting things out, returning to this meditation, really exploring, those are all things that are going to help you dealing with these uncomfortable emotions. I will share a brief story. Recently, this is, if you're doing this live with me, it's with the whole coronavirus shutdown of everything is happening. And personally, I'm not worried about getting sick, and I have a very positive attitude, but I was still being exposed to news and things like that through social media, and I wasn't sharing that with my children. And my husband was away. He was gone for his job for 3 days. And so it was just me and my children, and I wasn't able to express the fear or the anxiety or the sadness or anything of what I was reading because my children kept me really busy, and I don't believe that they need to be exposed to those things. And since my husband was gone, I wasn't going to be on the phone, talking about what I read online or whatever. It just wasn't going to happen. And so I was meditating, I was doing yoga, and I was praying, but I wasn't dealing with the emotion. And what happened is my lower back got like a knot in it. And at first I was like, oh, it's, could be something else. So I was doing yoga and trying to do everything. And then just started traveling up my spine. And then in a matter of 3 days, I woke up with the worst migraine I've had in years. I haven't had one because I've been dealing with stuff, and I usually don't bury things. Just was terrible, and my whole neck had locked up. I couldn't really even turn side to side. So I saw my chiropractor, I got a massage. Then my husband came home. That was some relief. I did a meditation, and I did tapping, which emotional tapping exercise with Jennifer Patridge. So she's really great if you're looking into that. I did that, and then I journaled, and I talked to my husband, and I let everything out, and then my body started to heal up. But my body just took all the tension. I wasn't dealing with it. Even though I was praying and meditating and everything, I wasn't dealing with the direct fear that was everywhere, and still is in some cases. And because I wasn't, my body shut me down, and then I actually was on the verge of a panic attack. Felt my heart racing, I couldn't eat, my stomach was in knots. The anxiety just exemplified in my body. And I just want to say, if you do have panic attacks, this is my own personal theory, but I actually think what they are is basically us not dealing with fear. And so then the body deals with the fear on its own and has the panic attack because it's been in fight or flight for so long and you've been ignoring it, that the body just puts you through it. And it's like, we're going to have this, we're going to let it out, and it's not going to feel good because you've been holding it up. And that's what I think a panic attack actually is. So I hope this helps you. If you have questions or requests for future meditations, please talk to me. You can talk to me here in the comments, or you can find me at broken-better.com. My email is on there. You can also find me on Instagram at broken.better, and let's have a conversation. I'm here to help. I'm a guide. All right? Hang in there. I know that's cheesy, but it's true. It's kind of how it feels like sometimes when your emotions are so at the forefront. It just feels like you're hanging in there. All right, sending you love and light.